Pisces.
Second house for income, Uranus is there, has been there, and will be there for some time yet to come. But as these two are working, you can expect the unexpected. That means that there could be a full rise in your financial income. There could be also a turn and a twist where things might dry out a little bit and then blossom again. Who knows? We will have to wait and see what the other transits are going to be doing throughout the months coming up, and we will be paying closely attention to this. But we are starting out here with a stellium going on here in your 11th house, and this has to do with groups, organizations, those you affiliate with, social networks, also pretty much tying into your hopes and dreams. Big year for your hopes and dreams and those things that you've been working for a very long time. It looks like Pluto right now has the pivotal point of transformation for you in this area. So let's see how that's going to work. We have the Sun, Mercury, new moon, Venus. Venus is retrograde. We're going to talk about that too. But here along with Pluto in this area. So that has everything to do with how you communicate, how you affiliate, how you network with new people coming into your life. And this is throwing an aspect over to Saturn in your 9th house. Now Saturn has to do with foreign people, foreign countries, foreign associates. Saturn can lock things into place, stabilize things, and Saturn is also where you have been focusing for a long time now, just to ground yourself out there, okay? So we're talking big scopes here for many of you Pisces, and I'm really excited for you. Now, Saturn is your own authority. It is who you are and how you come across. So this could be you either reaching for new, excuse me, new insights, new education, or it might just be you going out there in a teaching position where you're going to be the one relating this out to the networks. However it works for you, Saturn is in a great position. We have the new moon now, not just as a new moon intention as we have every single month, but since it is a new year forecast, this new moon, January 1st, will have the power to carry you through all of 2014. So that is really, really awesome here. And let's talk a little bit about Venus though. Venus is retrograde and will be until the end of January. However though, since it is retrograde, it will kind of put the brakes on somewhat for the entire year, since it was located there in the whole 14 forecast. So what does that mean? Well, this year you're going to be reevaluating a lot of the bonds that you have, the people you associate with, the friends that you have, since it is in the area of the 11th house. So yes, that could be romantic relationships as well. Some of you, if you're thinking friends with benefits and so forth, that might not work out that well for you this year, because now Venus is wanting to carry on something that is a little bit more earthy, something a little bit more grounded, not just up in the air. And this is what the retrograde is going to do for you, is to look back over those associations and contacts. Now, also Venus is being in the sign of Capricorn, working towards goals, aims, and so forth, being really realistic about it. Now, Venus isn't just romance, see? It's also the money that you earn. And being in Capricorn, well, you're going to be looking to the past, where you might have talents, skills, and whatnot that you can put together here and put out there to the groups and networks and associations and so forth. Now, this is something that may come to behoove you, especially after January 31st when Venus goes retrograde again, but you will be monitoring it, okay? Because the influence is going to be there throughout the whole year to see how this is going to work out for you. Now, this stellium is quite potent because Pluto is affecting the Sun and the new moon and also Mercury, and it's in this 11th house. Now, we have that square going on with Uranus. For you, that is your income sector. So you might just see how this is going to be challenged and how it will work out for you. But if we're looking at the challenge of it, it could mean that you're going to be breaking through, which Uranus does. And quite suddenly, overnight, it can come right out of the blue for you and impact your income sector. Pluto has the power to create all things new. It is the phoenix, right? The bird out of the ashes. So something now that you've been working on seems to be coming to a conclusion only so that it can restart itself, renew itself. And this seems to be a very vital message of 2014 for you. Now, Mars, though, let's track it because Mars is going to be stationary in this house of joint finances, commissions and royalties, the way you venture with other people and groups, partners, and so forth. So the focus on the 8th house, which is also called the house of intimacy and sex also, but we're looking probably pretty much at your financial scope just because it ties in with Uranus in your 2nd house. Now, until July 24th, this is where Mars is going to be working and operating. Meanwhile, you'll have transits coming and going from Mars that will enhance it or take from it, that we will pay attention to in the coming months on our monthly forecasts. But then, once it concludes here, July 24th, Mars is going to move into the 9th house of your chart. So we're leaving that scope behind until September 14th. Your focus is going to be on travel, foreign people and places, communications there, and somehow important people will have the influence to actually shut you ahead because you have Saturn there. So when we have Mars and Saturn together, they're going to cooperate here. How can we improve? How can we achieve? Remember, it's goals, it's Mars, and the 9th house is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the big giver. It's abundant. And here I see that you could really come into some, should I say, supportive people that can grow in abundance. This area of your chart, you might be visiting them, they may be coming to visit you. And all of this, of course, this aspect is angling off to the 11th house, which is already full of energy, okay? So that's a new step. So from January to September 14th, yes, you're going to be working on the fields we just talked about. Then September 14th, Mars-Saturn is going to kick into action with the world at large, which is the 9th house. And it's also how you're going to see yourself in a philosophical view and where you're not just aiming, but what you have gained, what you have mustered through and accomplished. It's a big time for accomplishment here. Then from September 14th to October 27th, Mars is then going to be visiting the 10th house of career. This is where you're going to get your accolades, where you are going to be more so publicly visual, which the 10th house is. And your 10th house, Pisces, is in the sign of Sagittarius. So once again, we're going to have that Jupiterian influence, which is really going to grow and expand, support, and give to you. So autumn time is awesome for you and your work and the achievements that you've set out to do here in 2014. And then coming in from October 27th to December 4th, Mars is going to be moving over those very same degrees where all those planets were lined up in January. The Sun, the new moon, Mercury, Pluto, and also ultimately Venus. So when it moves over those very same degrees, it's going to reignite and reinitiate, sorry, can't talk today, and this is going to bring those things to life. The very things that you started with on top of the year, you will start seeing now how all of that has panned out for you. Busy, busy time there until December 4th. Then it looks like you're going to just step out take a break as Mars ends up for the rest of the year in your 12th house. That's you now moving behind the scenes, recharging your batteries, and taking a big, deep breath. Why? Well, because Mars has been moving over the most active part of your chart, initiating everything that it could initiate, and Jupiter here will, until July 27th, be in the sign of Cancer. That is the house of creativity, also the whatever new jobs, creative projects that you start and have started, that is going to be blown up all the way while it's following Mars to the end of July. Both of those will be active and in a place of very tight busyness going on for you. Then we have Jupiter that will move into Leo, and it's going to be a different day-to-day routine that's going to kick in for you. Jupiter here in this house has been since July of 2013 to July 2014. Very creative. You've been thinking, you've been expanding, doing all that you could do. But now, since things are set up for you come July, well, you're going to be looking at how to schedule your daily routines in a way that's going to behoove you. You're going to streamline it, and things are going to be that much more fun too, I would think, just because you can start letting go of a lot of those day-to-day routines that you have been putting up with. So let's talk a little bit about the squares. The squares here, yes, we have been following that for the whole entire last year, and how they have been hitting us all differently, right? But for you here, Pisces, it is between your 11th house and the 2nd house. Go back to see what happened for you April 17th to June 28th. Then again, what took place September 21st until December 12th. Now, those areas are going to be reenacted again here in 2014 twice, and those periods will be between March 12th and May 24th, then again at November 4th, all the way to April 25th of 2015. So this time around, though, you have already had a sense of what it has already done for you. It's already tried to break away from the old rut and tried to trickle in new things for you. Sure, some of it might have been a little sketchy there when it started, but we've had these squares several times. We've had them 2011, 12, 13. We had them twice there. Here in 13, we're going to have them twice again. Then they'll finally end up and finalize in 2015. So step by step, you have been seeing what has been passing away and been eliminated in your life, so that you can grow new space in this area, in your financial sector. And thank God it doesn't happen all at once, because it takes a little time to acclimate and to grow into the new area and the new consciousness also. And I don't think it's going to be fully as stressful here in 14 as it was in 12 and 13 while you were trying to figure out how to do this. I think pretty much a lot of you Pisces already have it on board and know where you're heading, knowing where you can swim down that stream. And this will allow you now to start putting it into place and seeing the full scope of it. So this is going to be much, much better here in 14 for you. So Pisces, do listen to your moon and rising sign and get a little bit more insight as to where all of this is going to be affecting you. And then also we have our January forecasts coming up, which will give you also more insight what you can expect in January. I will see you next month. Take care and have a happy 2014.